When I first came to Seattle over 10, 11 years ago, this was actually the first place I wanted to work. I was like, my dream job is to work at Seattle Foundation. Wild, right? It took some turns, it took some years, but I finally ended up here. And the one thing that I've been pleasantly surprised by is just being myself. We talk about like being authentic and what it means to show up as ourselves. I think I'm finally living into that. And part of it is with the culture and leadership and the emphasis on wanting us to grow as people and also as professionals.
I sort of fell into this. There was just something really satisfying about working at a place that wanted to make a difference in the community. I supervise the gifts administrator and the grants administrator. I make sure that we are allocating money as it comes in properly and making sure that we're sending it out the right way, staying on the right side of the IRS, and honoring our donors' wishes and helping to fulfill our mission by making grants. There's something sort of built into my experience of cross-team work that just makes it easier to do that. And as you point out, the work that we do in grants administration touches there's not a team at Seattle Foundation that doesn't make a grant somehow. Even the president's office occasionally makes specific grants just to them. The thing that has been frustrating for the last 4 years since the pandemic is being in this remote posture, which it's been great that we could be, but I'm a person who, if I've got a question, or somebody's got a question to me, I would rather get up and go over and go to your desk and talk to you about it than have a Teams message about it or an email exchange about it, because it's those interactions that we have with each other in office that build the relationships. The days of being in office 5 days a week gone the way of the dodo. And there are advantages to be, everybody's personal situations are different and there are reasons why, and that we have these tools is a fantastic thing.
I feel it's a privilege to be able to represent the foundation in community. Community engagement is actually in my title, and that's actually new. I mean, the foundation's never had a formal sort of community engagement role before, and I take that really seriously. Like, I don't think community engagement is like this throwaway thing that you do when you have time. Like, I actually think it's a real strategy. It's a real way to actually be and live our mission and vision, to actually be in community with folks, to see the impact of our work, of our grant making or of our other efforts, and to hear and then to listen and then adjust and keep adjusting.
Being over here at Seattle Foundation, it gave me purpose, something meaningful, something that I want to do. I want to be part of the organization and I want to give back to my community. When I got here, and it even further in my head that, this is the place where I want to be, where I feel like everyone's idea has been valued, regardless of your position, regardless of what role you hold.
What really makes me happy is not only are we providing funding for direct services in the form of childcare or early childhood development, but there are organizations out there that my fund holders support that are doing advocacy and systems level change work. And so when you were talking about like sharing the knowledge and sharing stories, things like that, like that storytelling and that narrative is so important. And the fact that Seattle Foundation recognizes that it is necessary to provide funding for others to really own and tell their stories, that means so much to me. It's actually the reason why I'm at Seattle Foundation.
To be able to move money and to move resources to places I know are very deserving, but has been neglected for like way too long, like that's my purpose too. It's pretty cool to be at a place now where the foundation is talking about staff well-being and culture as center and like mission critical to this work. I don't know that that was true 7 or 8 years ago when I first started here, but culture is everything. I mean, I think for a lot of us, especially, I'll say communities of color, people who come from other parts of the world, for example, like you're everything.